what's good, everybody? It's your boy back again. Me and Robin. The shot call is coming at y'all again. Robin or not Robin. Richard, we'll see y'all next week. Uh,
Wow.
and we got something, cool. Well, we'll announce later on in the video what we got going next week. For now, good to see y'all back. Good to have you back, Robin. How you feeling, bro?
Man, I feel good. I feel good. Got more energy. I'm getting adjusted to the corporate lifestyle. I know you're
Yeah,
getting there soon. I
yeah,
think you're
yeah,
almost there. Yeah, you're basically there. So
yeah.
you kind of
Almost
realized what
there.
I was going
Yeah,
through.
yeah. A
But
little
I'm
bit.
back.
Yeah.
I'm getting excited. NBA season is about a month away, less than a month
Yeah.
away, I think.
I
Yeah.
know it's so fast. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Media days got
So,
me excited. Like seeing the
yes,
teams in
yes.
in jerseys again, not on vacation, bro.
Seeing all the
It got
free
me.
agent moves, I think
Yeah.
media days where it actually hits like, oh wow, like
Uh-huh.
Russell Westbrook's a Laker, or
Yeah, for real.
all the other moves, like Kyle Lowry's a Miami Heat. Like
Yeah, yeah.
it didn't hit you until you
Yeah,
saw him in
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
jersey with everybody. I was like, oh
Yeah.
man, this season's
The
gonna be exciting.
yeah. Uh don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram. We still have the pages. So, we'll as the season goes on, we'll be on it a little bit more.
Yeah,
And
we'll be a lot more active this season for sure.
yeah. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the YouTubes. We're a small channel. Hit the notification bell to make sure y'all don't miss any episodes. And then finally, we're everywhere you can find podcasts. We're on Acre FM, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Breaker, and Pocket Cast. So that's all for the intro. I said everything correctly, smoothly. Richard will be proud of me. He'll be proud of me. Uh, but but yeah, let's go ahead and get into this upcoming season. Like I just said, we just had media day. We got to see teams in uniforms. First day of training camp happened. Right after that, obviously, you got stuff going on with that. Uh, speaking of the first day of training camp and all that, did you see? Have you seen that video of Doc Rivers recently, where he was
He
getting
got frustrated with the
yeah, yeah,
reporter. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
that's a frustrating situation, but
yeah.
if I recall, like 3 months ago, it seemed like the 76ers wanted to move him.
Mhm.
And now that he's still there, now they're like, we never said that. It's like, well, when they
Yeah,
asked you, it was like, do you see Ben Simmons' future here? They were always like, they didn't give a good answer. They were just like, who knows, or time will tell. And it's like you can't say that.
yeah,
You can't say that at the beginning of the offseason and then eventually say, hey Ben, welcome back. Like, that's season
yeah.
starting.
You're right. You're right.
No, if you're a player and the coach doesn't want you there and the owner doesn't, the GM doesn't want you there, but then now they want you there again, it's like, well, why do I want to be here?
Yeah, it's such an awkward situation because like they really like they have him still. They haven't traded him
Yeah.
because they feel like they haven't gotten to received a trade valuable enough for him. So they're still holding on to him. But then they're going on about like, oh, we're not sure if he'll be here, and like welcome back, but at the end of last season we were not feeling you too well.
Yeah.
Uh, and then so now it's become this whole awkward situation, back and forth, kind of weird, awkward.
And I think real quick, I think this brings me. I have a quick question for you. It's like I
Yeah, I
just thought
got
of it
you.
right now.
All
But
right,
do
what's
you
that?
think NFL players have less leeway than NBA players?
When it comes to like trades or what?
Trades. I mean, think about it. Paul George forced his way from OKC to the Clippers. If Derrick Henry's like, "Hey guys, I want to go play for the Bucks with Tom Brady," that it's not going to happen. I think maybe obviously there's a lot more players. Well, salary cap is a lot more complicated in the NFL because there's 22 starters versus 5. But at
Yeah.
the same time, I think like NBA players, if you're a player, do you want to get traded somewhere? You're gonna get traded there.
Hmm.
Like they just
Yeah.
have so much leeway to where they want to play, who's gonna come join them. Like Russell Westbrook said to the Wizards, if I don't know if you saw that,
Mm.
what the GM said the other day or the owner, he was like Russell Westbrook didn't ask for a trade, but he said if I am getting moved, I want to go to the Lakers, or else I'll be
Mm.
back here. That's fine. The next thing you know, he's in LA.
Mm.
And what did they really get out of it? Some picks, sure, but they got Kuzma. Like, you know,
They got KCP too. They got KCP,
oh, they did get
Kuzma,
KCP. My bad. Who's gonna
and
pass him the ball?
Montrezl Harrell. They got him
No,
too.
like they just have. I feel like NBA players have so much more power than they did like even 10 years ago.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree with you there. Like in the NFL, it's kind of awkward because like you were saying, like there's a lot more players, and then also like even within the starting players, there's a lot more power given to like quarterbacks and wide receivers, running backs,
Yeah,
those type of players rather than like defensive line, O line, defensive back, safeties, that sort of thing. Unless like you're a star safety, then it's you have
yeah,
some leeway there. But for the most part, yeah, I would say NBA players like they'll say something and then it becomes a whole thing the whole organization has to deal with. So
yeah.
yeah,
That's,
yeah.
that's what I was saying is, yeah, they just have so much power. Like, even
Mhm,
think about it, like 20 years ago, obviously, if you're like Kobe or somebody, and you're like, hey,
mhm,
I want to go there, they're going to trade you there because you've already won so much with that certain team. But as a player now, you can literally speak up and say, I don't want to be here anymore. The GM's going to obviously bring you in for a meeting, like, hey, these are the teams I want to go to. And
mhm,
they're going to trade you to those teams. Like, there's just so much power you have to where the GMs and owners don't have as much power. Yes, they can trade you whenever they
mhm,
want, but as a star player, if he comes up to you and asks you, "Hey, I want to go here," you're gonna do it. Like, you're gonna
mhm.
listen to him because especially if he's in his contract year, you would rather get something back for him than nothing.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And then also it becomes like kind of even if like maybe they have like a year or year and a half on their deal or something, they still risk, just ruining the team chemistry and just, making an
Yeah,
awkward locker room and media, all that type of stuff. So yeah, a lot at stake
that's
uh
what I'm saying.
is there. Uh, but yeah, that's such a tough situation. I mean, I wonder when they're gonna trade him and then what they're gonna trade him for. Because I feel like, well, I mean, well, we'll have to see if he plays the season at all. But uh, like obviously he hasn't gone to training camp. Uh, and there's both sides have some wrong say in this. I mean, that doing something wrong, but uh. Well, we just got to see what happens if he plays during the season. Is that going to help his trade value? Is it going to hurt his trade value if he plays or doesn't play? So we'll have to see like what he gets traded for and all that. And
They are asking for a lot, but I'm one of the few
yeah,
people that think he's worth it. He's a defensive
uh,
stopper, and
I
he can run the whole team. Like, as now we get so fascinated about point guards as far as, give the Steph Currys, the Damian Lillards, but back then Steve Nash wasn't giving you 30 points a game.
mm-mm.
Jason Kidd wasn't giving you 30 points yet. Jason Kidd won a championship with, maybe he was a little bit older and it wasn't really more on
Yeah,
Jason
yeah,
Kidd.
yeah,
But point guards are not supposed to drop you 30, 35 points a game. And, they're supposed to maybe drop you good 20 points, 10 assists. That's a solid point guard, especially for a certain team. I think on his side, he can obviously pass the ball. He can get to the lane, kick it out, which is good because 3-pointers are getting more popular by the day. But on defense, is the thing is where if you can guard your point guard, shooting guard, small forward, and basically slow them down and still run the team and still run the fast break every possession, that speaks volume. I mean, look how much freaking Aaron Gordon just got. What does he do? 12 points, 13 points a game. He just got almost a near max. I mean,
oh, yeah,
yeah, it was Aaron
yeah,
Gordon, right? And
yeah.
even Michael Porter Jr., they're paying for potential in the NBA now.
Yeah, with that kind of situation, they're paying that to not let them walk and whatever, they're yeah, I mean you're essentially right. You're paying for potential, but they also definitely like fill a very valuable role on the team. So, I get what you mean there. I did see this one trade that seemed really cool. Like it would work for both sides. This one trade for Ben Simmons, and it was like Ben Simmons to the Sacramento Kings for like Buddy Hield, Tyrese Halliburton, and some picks, and then uh, the 76ers would have sent over like uh, Ben Simmons, obviously, and I think it was like maybe like Tyrese Maxey or something like that.
And Maxi,
Man, it was something like that, something along those lines. I don't, I
I
don't.
like that,
It
but
was.
I don't think Simmons and I'm a big supporter of De'Aaron Fox. I love
Mm,
Fox. I don't think they would mesh that well together. They kind of play that same role on
mm.
offense.
Yeah, yeah, I get what you mean. But I saw it from the standpoint, like from a team standpoint,
Yeah,
kind of thing, where Sacramento's defense has like never been good,
Yeah.
or hasn't been good in a while anyway. And then Ben Simmons would give you, he wouldn't ruin your offense, but then also he would give you a lot of much needed defense. So, and then uh, the 76ers would get, shooting and Buddy Hield and, an up and coming, rookie going into his second year. He looked really solid all around, passing, scoring, all that type of stuff. So I think that would have been a cool trade, but we'll see what happens.
An
That
exciting thing for Ben Simmons, real quick, would be I would love to see him with the Warriors.
Oh yeah, that I heard.
You
I
know,
heard. Yeah.
like, okay, him and Draymond on defense, and then Steph and Clay just running in circles while
Mhm.
he's just dishing them the ball. Like that would be a good match for him.
Yeah, they would have to,
That'd be an exciting team to watch because
yeah.
Clay can play defense. Obviously, Ben can play defense. Draymond can play defense.
Mhm.
Steph can rest a little bit more on defense, like he always, star players like LeBron, KD. They rest on defense at times. Like that's their rest time. That's how they play these 40-minute games consistently. They
Mhm.
just stand around on defense. Um, that's what James Harden was doing because James Harden
Yeah.
can play defense.
Yeah.
He just chooses to rest. Like
Mhm.
when I play 2K and my player is tired with the Gatorade symbol, I am resting on defense. I'm not running on defense.
Well, yeah,
But
that's a good point. I
Ben,
never.
with Steph Curry resting it, like, that's just good. That'd be really exciting, and I think that would, because the Warriors are a lot. There's a lot of teams in the West that the Warriors are one of them, where they're kind of in that they're not elite, but they're not gonna miss the playoffs. They're like gonna get to like the lower seeds, and can they really make a big push in the playoffs? We'll see. But I still think they're missing a piece, especially with Clay coming from injury. You can expect him
Mhm.
to be a 20 points per scorer, right away.
Mhm. Uh, I'm surprised I saw this stat recently from Bobby Marks on Twitter. He's like he's an NBA journalist, but like he keeps his thing is like kind of where he keeps track of like salary caps and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
he showed this one stat, after MPJ and Aaron Gordon got their max contracts, it was like four teams are paying three players the max
yeah.
contracts, and it's like Denver, Golden State was one of them, and it was like the three players on Golden State is like Steph, Clay, and Wiggins. And I'm like,
Yeah,
bro,
yeah.
I'm like, bro, why are they paying Wiggins the max? Like Matt, like Wiggins, like I guess I just don't like the dude, but like he's like
He,
average at best in my opinion. Like he's
I
not.
think he's a good. I think he's a good player. He can be your second best player, but he has to be your third best scorer because he
Mm,
can play defense,
yeah.
and that makes him your. He can be your second best player, but
Hmm.
he can't rely on him to be your second scorer like your Chris
Hmm.
Middleton.
Yeah, yeah. He
He's
he
kind
showed
of
that
Chris
last year.
Middleton, but he's better on defense than offense.
Hmm.
But his offense is good. It's not bad. But you don't want to say, hey, Steph, you drop 30. Wiggins, we're going to need 20 every night. It's
Hmm.
like, okay, you might get
Yeah,
20, but you might have to take 20 shots.
yeah, yeah. And
Um, but he's not going to be that. Oh, good question. So have you heard about the vaccine?
yeah, yeah.
And how some players like
Yeah,
him and Kyrie cannot play in their home
yeah,
games. And
yeah,
they're not
yeah.
going to be getting paid for them either.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I saw that. I saw Wiggins was one of them. And I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. Uh, yeah. I was just like, I guess. I mean, I saw that Wiggins. He had requested a religious exception or religion exception, but it got denied. And I was like, huh. Well, so.
Like, I don't really care anybody's stance on the vaccine or anything like that. Like, whatever you want to do is whatever you want to do.
Mhm.
But if you get paid $20 million to play basketball at the Bay, and you're going to be missing every home game, and especially for a team like the Warriors, who, in their mind, think they can still compete. And for all we know, they might still
Mhm.
be able to compete because
Mhm.
they truly haven't had a season after
Mhm.
KD healthy.
Yeah, yeah.
Because after KD left, they have never been healthy since. And before KD, they were still doing really good.
Yeah, I mean, even like Katie's last year, they were still like kind of injured. So,
Yeah, so my thing is, we don't know if they can compete or not, but with Wiggins not doing that, it'd be different if there was like half the players on the team that weren't vaccinated. But
Yeah.
if it's just one or two people that are like, no, I'm not getting vaccinated,
Mhm.
and they're gonna be missing 41
And,
games for
and
sure.
and they're like a decent, like, pretty significant like role player.
Yeah, like Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, yeah, or a star player, yeah, in Kyrie's case. It's really weird. I mean, like, and I've noticed it kind of. I mean, a lot of people are, hesitant on the vaccine and all that, but like Damian Lillard had this one quote I saw because he recently I guess he recently got the vaccine or something, and he was just like, I'm doing whatever it takes to, protect my family and stuff like that, and I've been getting vaccinated, my whole life, so
Yeah,
kind of like what's different, and that's kind of how I've been like thinking like this whole time too, like even before I got the vaccine, I'm like people will say like, oh, I don't know what's in it and this and that, like, but I've been getting vaccinated my whole life. It's not like I knew every time like what
yeah, I
was in every
didn't.
single vaccine.
Yeah,
We had to get. It was required for us to get vaccinated to go to college. The meningitis B or something.
yeah,
And the all this other stuff, and it's just like it's kind of. And then we've gotten past the point where it's like it's FDA approved, and it, it's just like this was like a global thing, or this is a global thing, like it makes sense that it was developed relatively quickly, uh but it's because it was such a significant global pandemic,
yeah,
and globally biomedical engineers been working on it, doctors, they've been putting all their resources in researching a vaccine so people stop dying. And then so
yeah.
that's why it's just it's it just sucks to see so many people still like hesitant, and then even in as people as
Famous
significant,
people.
yeah, famous people pretty much. So
Yeah, it's touchy, and I think it's already kind of making an impact in different sports, like
mm,
the NFL. There's so many people who are going on the COVID list. Most of them are unvaccinated, and their plays. Some of them are really important starters for teams that are
yeah,
trying to make playoff pushes.
like Dallas's own line.
Yeah, well, they just got. I think one of them just tried to bribe somebody for the PED test,
Oh
but
yeah, no,
yeah.
I was talking about like Zach
Oh yeah,
Martin.
Zach Martin was
Yeah,
out. Yeah, he was
yeah.
out week one against the
Mm,
Bucks.
mm,
I think Tyrann Mathieu was out week 1 and 2, I believe.
mm,
Maybe I think it was just week 1, but
mm,
like these are teams that are obviously have playoff. They're hopeful for the playoffs, and not just the playoffs, but making pushes in the playoffs. And for you to lose a game or two games because half your team is out due to a COVID list, it's
that could be
it's
prevented by getting vaccinated.
yeah, it could be. I'm not gonna say it's a guarantee
Yeah.
you get a vaccine and you're never gonna get COVID. I mean, yes,
Mm,
the percentage is a lot lower, but it's to the point to where if you really are wanting to win, look at LeBron has a vaccine, Tom Brady has a vaccine. These guys are wanting to go to the finals and the Super Bowl and win again. KD's vaccinated. Like it'd be different if your top players in the league were not vaccinated. That'd be a lot different. It's like, oh, well, Tom Brady didn't get it. The dude's been 7 championships,
mhm.
you know. But
It
if the best players, the players who are known for winning or known for getting to the finals or the Super Bowl, whatever it is, are getting vaccinated, then you can't really say like, oh, I'm not really required to do this or that or that. That just means that you don't truly want to win unless
mm,
you legitimately have a reason of not getting vaccinated.
yeah, and it's kind of sucks too because like it's such a touchy subject,
Yeah.
for whatever reason. So it's like, yeah, in the case of like, like maybe like Katie and Kyrie, I'm sure like, Katie and Kyrie, I'm sure they're not having a conversation where it's like, hey, bro, you're not gonna get vaccinated, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm sure they're trying to avoid that awkward kind of
Um,
conversation.
and I'm
Like,
pretty
well,
sure. So
yeah,
I'm pretty sure Katie's supporting Kyrie,
yeah, yeah.
but I guarantee as the season goes on, he's gonna start getting frustrated. Especially if they start losing and start dropping a couple games, you gonna start to tell that frustration is gonna start setting in. And Kyrie said that if he gets traded, he's going to retire.
He did
Kyrie
say
be
that,
on
right?
dope, bro.
Yeah.
He's got to be on dope.
But I don't
The
know.
way he be talking in his interviews, he's got to be on dope.
Kyrie is something else, man. But I mean, like he's not like a bad person. He's just weird.
Nah,
He's just weird.
that's what happens when you're high.
But yeah. Anyways, so speaking of this upcoming season, you know, who do you have for a sleeper team this upcoming season, or
So
an
you,
underrated kind of under talked about team, you know, underhyped team, I guess.
so you actually got it right
When
we were talking before the show.
Oh, Chicago.
The Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, dude.
I didn't really realize the moves they made. Obviously, I was like, "Oh, Lonzo's a big addition. Lonzo's a point guard any team would love to have." Then obviously they have Zach LaVine, they got Vooch, but I didn't realize the additions of freaking Alex Caruso, Derrick Jones Jr. They freaking have Kobe White off the bench still, and he's still developing. People realize Steph Curry didn't really develop until like 5 years. Because he was injured and all this, and then he became Steph Curry, to who we know. So Kobe White is still in that development stage. I'm not saying he's the next Steph Curry, so don't come after me, internet. I'm just saying it takes time for not everybody's going to be like a Luka or a Trae Young where they're just instantly taken off. But it takes time. Like even Carson Edwards in Boston, I think it's going to take him some time. But I think these players are phenomenal. And as they keep getting adjusted to the NBA, the speed, the tempo, the play style, they're all going to do damage. And I think Kobe White's going to have a breakout year as a sixth man.
Yeah.
But DeMar DeRozan, I haven't even mentioned him yet. They have DeMar DeRozan as well. This team is stacked. The only thing I'm saying is I wonder how they're going to be on defense besides Lonzo and Zach LaVine. Patch.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, my gut instinct was to say like, oh, they're gonna be bad on defense, but like really, like when you were saying, you know, those kind of role players, like I'm kind of thinking like they're not gonna be that bad on defense. Like maybe they might be a little weak at like the center or power forward position, but like I don't think they'll be that bad.
Yeah, I mean, they have Patrick Williams from New York, so he's good. He's a good defender. And they also have Derrick Jones, who's a long, athletic person that can play power forward. And then DeMar DeRozan's not known for defense, but I think just being tall and being athletic and having length in the NBA makes you somewhat good at defense just from the start. KD's not a good defender, but because he's so long, he can be good at defense, you know? He doesn't have to give the full amount of effort as Alonzo Ball does, or as a like back then Tony Allen. Tony Allen wasn't long. He was strong, but he gave the effort. KD doesn't have to give effort. He's 7 foot tall, and his wingspan is like freaking long as hell.
Let me look up Lonzo Ball's height, because I want to say that's kind of a bad comparison. Lonzo.
What is that? I think he's like 6'5", 6'4".
Yeah, so he's kind of an oversized point guard. So I you know, it's like
Steph Curry's like 6'4".
Really? I thought he was like probably. I thought he was like 6'3". Yeah, I was gonna say he's probably like 6'2", 6'3".
But so let's bring 6'5". Okay, look, but still, I mean that Lonzo Ball and with Zach LaVine, and you got Alex Caruso to play defense off the bench. Defense is not really about what can you guard this guy one-on-one. It's about can the team together play good team defense, and also can you guys give the effort every possession in the fourth quarter. The Lakers in 2019 when they won the championship, or 2020 I should say, when they won the championship, they didn't have a good single defender. I mean, they had Rondo and they had players who can maybe give you a stretch of possessions on defense. Like LeBron could give you maybe a couple possessions. Anthony Davis can give you a couple possessions. But when they locked down together, it was tough. Same thing with Miami when Miami guarded, or they played against Milwaukee and then Boston. Jimmy Butler is a dog and Bam's a dog. We know that. but it's about this. It's about the other players on the floor who are gonna make your defense good or bad. Because you know what the good players are gonna provide you. Jimmy Butler is gonna go lock up your best guard. Bam's gonna lock up the power forward center. But can the Tyler Hero and the Duncan Robinson stay in front of their guy enough to where the help defense isn't? It's still gonna happen and it's still gonna come, but they don't have to help too much off of their guy. So I think the Chicago team is good. I think they're good. I think they're going to take a playoff spot from somebody who made it last year and probably won't make it this year, which is tough because the East is – I mean, you got
Better.
Chicago. You still got the Hornets. Yeah, you got the Hornets who got better. Besides them and their baby mamas.
Bro, get out of here.
They're worried about the wrong stuff. They're worried about the wrong salary caps. I'll tell you that.
but yeah, no, I kind of agree with you. Like, it's on the defense is also on like kind of the coach's scheme as well.
Yeah.
I feel for Chicago to be successful, and get like a pretty decent seed in the East, that is if their offense is if they kind of have like a hyper offensive kind of style, which is I guess kind of the gut reaction that I'm sure a lot of people are getting, all these offensive weapons.
Yeah.
But as long as their defense, holds up somewhat, like if they're average defensively, then I think they'll be pretty good, at least throughout the regular season. But yeah, I like the Chicago team too. I think they look pretty good. I was excited when the moves were happening, even though like Richard wasn't that excited, when Lonzo got moved. But yeah,
Richard's he's just a Harden fan. It's making Harden's path for a rank harder for Rich to get that in. Who's your sleeper team?
My sleeper team is Dallas, and I'm sure a lot of people, or I'm sure a couple of y'all will be like, oh, you're a Dallas fanboy, blah blah, whatever. It's because let me explain myself. Like going into the, I've been watching people go over the offseason, have gone over the the offseason trades and all that. Like most of the videos that I've seen, like they'll be like, oh, the Lakers are a lot better. Let me look at like other teams in the West, like Golden State's gonna be really good. That type of stuff. Clippers are still gonna be up there. Utah and the Phoenix Suns, right? But whenever they refer to like Dallas, they're like, oh, Dallas hasn't done enough to move the needle, or their trades have been underwhelming or whatnot, and blah blah blah. I kind of disagree. Like I feel like the pickup of Reggie Bullock is pretty good.
Big. Yeah, it's big.
Yeah, it's a good, he's a big dude, good wing defender and 3-and-D guy. Like, and then we also traded away Josh Richardson.
And I was big on Josh last
year. Yeah. Oh yeah. I was a little disappointed in Josh. I was like, I thought he would have been better for Dallas, but
yeah.
It is what it is. But I feel like the biggest question mark was Jason Kidd, picking up Jason Kidd as a head coach. And I recently saw this article where Jason Kidd was talking about his plan for this upcoming season. He was like, oh, make Kristaps more of a offensive weapon, like he was saying, like there's no bad shots for Kristaps. Like we're not gonna have him shoot in the corner, just sit in the corner or whatever. Like we're gonna have him part of the offense. And then also he was like telling Luka like, oh, trust your teammates more and stuff like that. So I feel like in that kind of way, like Jason Kidd coaching Luka is probably, it could be a good idea. Former Hall of Fame, top probably 20, 25 point guards of all time or something, maybe.
Jay Kidd?
Yeah, maybe.
He's definitely top 10.
Oh, okay.
My bad. Have some more respect on Jay Kidd,
okay,
bro.
My fault.
You need to pull up the highlights of him on the Nets. Come on, man.
My fault. I thought you were gonna say like
20? That might be D Rose.
Bro, shut up, bro. I don't talk about D Rose, bro. but no. but yeah, so I feel like it could work out there.
Yeah,
Luca may be able to listen to him. I mean, according to the article, Luca had some quotes where he's like, "Yeah, he's right, and I need to do this, blah blah." And props to Luca, for being so open and willing to listen and stuff like that, being coachable. So that was the real question mark for this season, because I feel like Dallas, we pushed the Clippers to Game 7. The Clippers almost made it to the Western Conference Finals without Kawhi. So we pushed it to Game 7 with Kawhi, and so really, like I feel like Dallas didn't need to make significant changes. Um, but they just needed to, kind of optimize the play style a little bit, and then also get Luca's usage rate down a little bit. Because as much, as amazing, as crazy good as Luca is, he definitely needs to trust his teammates a little bit more. Like he needs to, not do too much like all the time. Because when he's off the floor, like then we struggle like really bad. But
there's no flow of the game.
yeah.
Yeah,
So if Dallas is able to, work that out, make Kristaps more of an offensive weapon, just get him more touches pretty much, and then
yeah.
also improving on defense, like from last year, because last year they kept Dorian Finney-Smith, they kept Maxi Kleber, critical guys like that are some of my favorite role players on Dallas. 3-and-D guys, give you energy, even though Maxi Kleber, he got dunked on last year. That was tough. That's tough. Didn't Kawhi get a shirt of that? He got a shirt of them like turning back, like yelling
Yeah,
at him and stuff.
that
And I
was a
was like,
clean. That was a clean play though.
that was a clean play,
That
but
was a clean dunk. That was a
yeah, but
clean.
that,
But
that's that's
I don't like how he dunked on somebody and then two of his guys were more hyped than him.
yeah.
That isn't flow, right?
Yeah, but no, I feel like, and then also on top of that, like I was just talking about, the Clippers, Kawhi is going to be out for most of the season. Uh, Denver,
But he
Jamal
is
Murray. Well,
most of the season.
yeah, most of the season, because
Ooh.
he's coming off of ACL surgery, so or I mean, we don't know when he's coming back. I mean, I'm sure he's missing at least like half. Um,
I'm
but
pretty sure he'll be back before All-Star break.
okay, well,
Well, when did he get
maybe
hurt?
uh,
I think he'll be back
end of end
maybe
of end of round
end of
2.
May. That
That
was end
that'll
of
be
May, right?
yeah. I was like end of May.
I think he should be back maybe like January, February, depending on obviously everyone rehabs differently.
Yeah.
There's some people who come back in 7 months. There's some people who
Mm,
take over a year. So everyone's
yeah.
different. I just hope he doesn't rush it.
Yeah. I'm sure Kawhi is, I mean, given his history, with his quad injury, he really, I mean, he waited on that one for a while. But
Yeah.
I feel like the West is a little bit, kind of wide open. I mean, maybe not wide open, but a bit more. I guess, how do I say, like, it's not top heavy. It's not like okay, these are your teams for sure making it. Like Denver, Jamal Murray is still going to be out. Uh, Utah and Phoenix, they'll still be good teams.
I think Phoenix will drop off a little bit.
Yeah, I think
I
for
think
Phoenix,
people are expecting them now.
yeah,
They've arrived. Now they
mhm,
need to like. I'm not gonna be a hater and say that was a one hit wonder, but
yeah,
when you do have that good of a season out of
mhm,
nowhere, obviously they went undefeated in the bubble, but people are like, well, it's the bubble.
mhm,
But when you have that good of a year, now it's time for you to prove that we're consistent enough to be like this for the next decade.
mhm,
I mean, D Book is still young,
mhm,
Aiton is young, Bridges is young, Chris
yeah,
Paul's a little older, obviously, but this is the difference between being good and being great. Good is you can do it a season, a game, a series, but being great is I'm gonna do this every year in and out. That's
yeah,
what I need to see from them now. I don't think they're gonna be a top 4 team in the West, just because I think Chris Paul is gonna keep resting games.
hmm.
I think Utah is gonna be good.
I saw kind of like a prediction, like kind of like a wild prediction that Utah wins 70 games next season.
They're
Well,
deep. Utah's deep. That's
yeah.
the one thing out there.
Yeah,
They're deep.
yeah. I thought I saw that and I was like, there's potential there. Like they could do it, honestly.
I don't
But
think
but
I don't
it'll
think
be tough. I mean, I'm sure it depends on their injuries too, and like
Yeah.
how teams adjust to them. But the
Just
potential is there.
given the circumstances with the
Yeah.
COVID season and maybe people missing games because of COVID protocols, I just don't think that's going to be
Mm,
a thing this season. I mean, even last season, I don't think anybody even hit 60 wins. I think the highest
mm,
was 52. Then
mm,
again, it was 10 less games. So,
yeah,
but
yeah.
that means that Phoenix would have won 8 of the next 10 games they played, which might have happened.
Mm,
But we barely would have had a team hit 60
yeah,
last
yeah.
season.
So.
Barely just hit that 60 mark because of these protocols.
Mm,
Um, and also, we're gonna have fans back. I'm guessing. I'm
yeah,
pretty
yeah,
sure we'll have
yeah,
fans
yeah,
back, and
yeah,
that's
yeah.
gonna be a whole different. Because think of playing for almost a year and a half with no fans,
Mm,
and then fans. I mean, it's affecting some of the NFL quarterbacks, like the Patrick Mahomes of the world, the Tom Brady's of the world. Like they're getting affected because they've been so adjusted to playing with no silence. They haven't used a silent count in forever. And now, fans are back. You're going to be shooting free throws with people lifting their shirt off. It's going to be weird. But to get back to Dallas real quick, I think they made a great moves. I think the one thing we always said we needed was shooters and defense. That's
yeah.
what we got.
Mm,
Um, Also, another good thing is I like Carlisle, but I always felt like his rotations were really inconsistent. He didn't allow anybody to kind of get momentum.
mm,
I think we have the best backup point guard in the league, and Jalen Brunson.
mm.
Go ahead and think. There is nobody out there. I mean, Cam Payne had a good playoff run.
I wasn't thinking of him. I mean, I would say him and Brunson is maybe like kind of even. Uh,
Rondo's also good because he's a backup point guard.
yeah. Uh,
It's really nobody else.
yeah.
Maxi's starting now
Yeah,
because
yeah,
Ben
yeah.
Simmons is gone.
Bro, how long have you thought about that? Did you just say that right now? Did you just think of that right now?
So yeah,
The Brunson, you just thought of that right now? Oh, okay. I was gonna say like, did you do your research on this? Cause
no, I'm saying it right now, like because with Brunson in the game, he gives you defense, gives you
yeah,
offense, and he gives you scoring from every level. He can drive, he has great finishes, he can make his free throws when he gets contact, and he's a good enough shooter. But with Carlisle, there was 4 games we barely saw this guy for 5 minutes a game, and we
yeah,
saw Trey Burke or we saw Josh Richardson in, and the next thing you know, the next 4 games he's playing 30 minutes each. It's
yeah.
like you can't build consistency if you don't have consistent minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was Carlisle's biggest problem was he didn't trust his guys enough to go through the bad stretches and allow them to get over him.
Mm-hmm.
Besides if it's Luka or KP.
Mm-hmm.
And also he didn't trust the young guys like
Yeah.
Josh Green or who's the Tyrell Terry,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah,
The
something like that.
sniper, he's a sniper. He can shoot, but we never
Mm,
put him in. And I
mm,
think Kid is allowing, especially as a former player, he understands that you got to trust
yeah.
the young guys and you got to trust the team. Um, I think Dallas is going to be good, but looking at the Western Conference and even the Eastern Conference, I think there's going to be at least 2 teams who made the playoffs this year from each conference that will not make it next season.
I like for the West, like I don't feel the Lakers are that good. Like I don't think they're gonna be like the first seed at all.
They'll be
Like
top 4.
top yeah, top four
I think
probably.
this is going to be Anthony Davis's "I'm the leader of this team now" season.
It needs to
Like
be if they need
his
if
name
they're
is
gonna
going to
win.
be in the MVP conference. I think LeBron's passed the throne. I think Westbrook's here to help both of them out, and I think Anthony Davis is going to be his series against the Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals. I think this is going to be like that, but a whole season. Like, hey, this is my team now. Like he's going to put the NBA at notice. Is the only way they can hit the top 4 seeding. If they still rely on LeBron at this age, it's not going to look good for them.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean Portland's probably staying the same, if not getting worse. I mean, I feel like Portland's getting worse by not getting better
Yeah.
because Golden State got better. Uh, the Lakers, they're not going to be below the Portland Trailblazers this season. I mean, barring injuries or whatever. But uh, I feel like those two teams are definitely going to be up there. I've seen people were saying like Golden State could could be the one of the favorites to make it out of the West, but
I
uh,
think I think Utah will still make it. Phoenix will make it. The Nuggets will make it. The Mavericks will make it. The
mhm,
Lakers will make it, and the Warriors will make it. So I think the Warriors are going to either take the Trailblazers or the Clippers, depending on how the Clippers truly did not get that much better, and they're missing their best player for about
mhm,
50% of the season, as you said.
mhm.
Are you telling me that Clippers team can beat a Warriors team who is getting probably a top 5 shooter of all time back? And
Yeah.
Klay Thompson can also play defense. Everybody forgets about that. This guy is a stud on defense.
Mhm.
And then Memphis, I think, is getting better because they have Ja, and Ja's just going to get better and better and better. They might overtake Portland. Portland's issue was defense.
They didn't.
What did they do for help their defense? Nothing. Memphis was good on defense. Their issue was offense. In the NBA now, I'd rather suck at offense than suck at defense. Because if I suck at offense, I could go get somebody who drops 20 points a game. If I suck at defense, there's not that many defensive stoppers out there.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say like Dallas has a pretty good chance and to get a good high seed this upcoming season, especially like if people aren't really looking out for them and their weapons. San Antonio hasn't gotten much better. Or they pretty much stayed the same. Or I mean, they probably
They got young
they got
guys
worse.
though.
Yeah, I mean they got young
They got
talent,
young guys.
but they haven't done much to really move the needle. The Pelicans probably got worse. Sacramento's, they've stayed the same. I feel like maybe Minnesota might be a little bit better. They might
Yeah.
make the play in, and Houston might compete for a play in spot too. I mean, they're definitely. I think
Houston?
yeah. I mean, they got good young guys. I mean, they're. I'm not saying they're gonna make the playoffs, but I feel like they'll definitely like. I
But okay,
I think
out
they
of
have that.
last season's play in bracket, so the
Mhm.
top 10 teams, who would you take out for Houston?
San Antonio. Uh,
That's it.
well, I know that's what I'm saying. Like they'll compete for a play-in. Like
But
they'll
I
probably
think OKC has
say
a good
same
chance.
say same with Minnesota. But other than that,
Yeah, I think the West is a little bit more consistent, but I think I think that maybe the only team from the playoffs you can take out would be Portland or the Clippers,
yeah.
depending on how long Kawhi's out. I love Paul George, and I think he is going to carry them to the playoffs. But if he doesn't, I wouldn't be surprised because they didn't really support him with a lot.
But Memphis is kind of a question mark for me too because they haven't changed that much this season either. So I mean they're still gonna be a solid team, but who knows like what solid means in next season. So
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, and then, but yeah, I really like looking at the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference because I feel
The
like
Eastern is a.
both are pretty competitive right now. Like
I
there's not
think the
it's not
Eastern
gonna be
Conference is a little bit more, not more competitive. I think the West has 9 teams that you can really say, okay, these 9 teams are going to be for sure in the top 9, barring any injuries or
mm,
COVID list or
mm.
suspensions, whatever it is. But when you look at the East, like I have a feeling like Boston might not make the playoffs this year.
Boston is a weird one for me because like I want to say that Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown, like they're good enough to get them in the playoffs and like potentially, be better than people expect. But then they could also like, just not play well and not play well
But
on
I mean,
defense and
the
stuff like
scary thing
that.
about Boston is they can both play well and they can still lose.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they were both in the All-Star game last season, right?
Yeah,
Or
they
the
were.
season, yeah, they were in the
They were.
All-Star season, and yet they were still barely at 500 all season.
Yeah, that's true. And then I saw a lot of their problems was defense. So I mean they what is his name? Their coach, their Brad Stevens. Brad Stevens. He's no longer the coach. They got a new coach in. So we'll see. We'll see what he does to change it up for them. But I feel like Boston. I feel like Boston's not going to be that bad. I feel like Boston will be, pretty decent. They could be a sleeper team in the East, but Miami got better. Atlanta didn't change that much, but I feel like they're still a good team. New York, I think, arguably got better, or probably got better. Milwaukee's still going to be there. Brooklyn's still going to be there. The major question mark is Philly.
Philly's
Uh,
still going to be there.
like,
Nobody in the East is guarding Joel Embiid.
well, I know that, but like, when you say they're still gonna be there, do you mean like they're still gonna be like top three,
Playoffs.
or oh, okay, playoffs, okay,
Playoffs. I'm thinking
yeah,
about just playoffs now. Obviously, the seeding is going to depend on injuries. It's going to depend on a lot of other things like that. But I think as far as playoffs, yeah, I think they'll be there. I think when you look at the East, I think the top 6 teams that didn't have to do the play-in will probably be the same. But you can also make cases for when you look at the play-in tournament, you had Boston, Washington, Indiana, and Charlotte. I think Charlotte took a step up. And then the team that we aren't even mentioning are the Chicago Bulls.
yeah, Chicago, and then for a while, like midway through last season, Charlotte, when before LaMelo got hurt, they were like fourth seed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Charlotte can be competitive probably. Indiana's probably a question mark. They still have to make changes. Washington probably got worse. I mean, I feel like Washington, like, they raised their floor, but they didn't do much, or they probably lowered their ceiling. Um, so their their potential isn't as high without Westbrook, but I think they've gotten more, solid, with the players that they have. But we'll see how they turn out. But yeah, I think probably Washington and Indiana probably get worse. I mean, yeah, I mean,
I think,
those two teams are
yeah.
weird.
I just
Chicago's
think if you
definitely
switch
moving
Washington
up.
and Chicago, I think the top 10 teams on the East are set. I think the other 9 teams that were top 10 last year either got better or stayed the same. But then when you look at it, the bottom 5 teams besides Chicago, who I think is going to switch with Washington, the other 4 teams really didn't do much. I mean, yes, they had high picks in the draft, but when's the last time you've seen
I
an
mean,
NBA rookie come in and carry a team to the playoffs?
LeBron. Or well, actually, I guess, yeah. I was gonna say like Luca or something,
Yeah, we didn't make the
or
Mavericks
yeah,
didn't make the playoffs.
yeah. Mavericks didn't make the playoffs. The Hawks didn't make the playoffs when they got Trae Young. Uh, who else? Uh, yeah, I guess LeBron is the most accurate one,
He didn't
but
make the playoffs his rookie year.
he didn't.
He didn't make the playoffs until his
Oh,
second year or his third year, I'm thinking.
uh, okay. I didn't remember that, but yeah, the East is pretty competitive, but yeah, Cleveland's still gonna be bad. I think Orlando's gonna be bottom of the East. Detroit probably gets better, depending on how well Cade Cunningham plays. Toronto probably gets worse, or I mean, if not the same, because they're probably still better than Cleveland and Orlando. But yeah, I would say like, depending on how well Detroit plays, like the top 12, or for the top 10, it could, or at least for the bottom of like 10, 11, 12, it could be pretty competitive. But like, yeah, throughout the whole Eastern Conference, yeah, they'll probably be pretty competitive. Uh,
Yeah.
so
It's going to be an exciting season, though. That's all I can
yeah,
say.
yeah, I'm excited. I so yeah, I know you were saying like you think the Lakers are probably going to be pretty good, but
I think
uh
it's going to be AD's year.
yeah, it kind of depends. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm not. I don't have too much faith in the Lakers. Like, I'm not. I feel like they're too big of a question mark. But I guess in my opinion, it's Brooklyn's year to win. I think regardless of what happens. So
I think if Curry don't play, they're not winning.
we'll see. Well, I mean, yeah, I think well, maybe. They could win without Kyrie.
And I
Like
think that now that the Bucks,
if James Harden isn't, on one leg, then I feel like they could
I
definitely be a
think
lot
if
better.
now that the Bucks have won a championship, they have that confidence. You know, that confidence like, hey, we beat you once, we'll beat you again now.
Mhm.
Before it's always like we made it to the playoffs, but we lose in the second round, the third round. So like what's gonna be this time? Are we gonna get hurt? Are we gonna choke? But now they're like, hey, we beat you last year, let's do it again.
Yeah,
And I think when you get that
it's
confidence and Giannis
yeah.
has all that stress taken off, Chris Middleton has that stress taken off, and I think they might have one of the best overall two-way players in the league in Drew Holiday. It's gonna
Yeah.
be fun
Yeah.
to watch them play with no stress.
Yeah.
That's the funnest thing to see is watching a team play with no stress.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. I just say Brooklyn, is I would say Brooklyn's my favorite to win is because, I feel like Kevin Durant is the best player in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
Uh, so I just, I feel like the stars might align for the Brooklyn Nets and stuff might work out for them. But yeah, you're right. Milwaukee, if they're playing with confidence, I mean they could be the top seed next season again.
Yeah, and
So,
if Giannis is playing like how we saw Giannis in the playoffs, especially in the finals,
mhm.
he's the best player in the league. This guy took over the finals
Yeah,
and
yeah.
took over my record prediction,
Mm.
and he made your prediction kind of fall
Bro,
apart. And
shut
now you owe me a
up,
dinner,
bro.
which hasn't been paid
That
yet, but we won't bring that up.
we'll get that done. We'll get that done. Uh, but yeah, I mean, bro, I I wish we didn't make that bet, bro. I would enjoy Milwaukee winning so much more. Like, cause I think them coming back from 2-0 in the finals has only happened like four times in NBA history.
Happened in 2006 with
Oh,
Dallas
yeah.
and Miami.
Hmm. But I'm pretty sure that was the last time it happened, right? Or no, the last time it happened was LeBron and when he was in Cleveland. I think it was like
3-1.
25th. Yeah, 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 when they were 3-1.
Yeah, that was a bad one as well.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
I think it was
It was
one. It was two. They were down 2-0, but
yeah,
they
yeah.
won one
Then
and they
one
lost
one
another
game
one.
3. Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So LeBron, or I think that was 2015, 2016. Uh
26. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, 2016 is when the last time it happened, and then before that it was 2006, and then before that it had happened in like
But in 2006 and even last season, it was 2-0 straight and then
yeah,
4 games straight.
yeah,
That's
yeah. Yeah, bro. It's
and hopefully it doesn't haunt the Suns.
yeah. I mean, I feel like it is like I felt like that was their last chance to win a championship. I've said it before though. It really does just depends on their young guys. I think like if Miles Bridges is a lot better, and Devin Booker is like he works on his 3-point percentage a little bit more, and like maybe I don't even think his decision making is that bad either. Like there were stretches when he had to run the point, even last playoffs. So, and he was looking pretty good for the most part except when he met up with Drew Holiday. But other than that,
That's
yeah,
Drew Holiday, man. He's a
yeah,
different
yeah,
animal.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, other than
But
that, yeah, I
yeah,
I don't
we'll
think,
see. I hope they play. I
yeah.
hope they play with energy and with that
Hmm.
that hunger. Like hey, let's do it again, but this time let's finish the
Hmm.
job. Not
Hmm.
the we were so close. Let's just do what we did last year and we'll get there. They're gonna
Hmm.
have to play. They're gonna have to play a lot with more energy, just because they know teams are now looking for them.
Hmm.
They're one of those teams where you're like, okay, we got Phoenix in in 2 days. Everyone
Hmm.
get ready. It's not like
Hmm.
saying, hey guys, we're playing the Pistons.
Hmm.
Like no, it's like okay, well, let's get practice.
Hmm. Uh, all right. So I think we've covered everything. We want to say right now about the upcoming season. I'm sure when the season gets closer, we'll give like playoff predictions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, But until then, I think that's all we wanted to cover. Uh, and I guess we'll move on to the next topic. We'll probably keep it a little brief, just a little fun. Well, have you been keeping up with any sports over the summer or over the off season while the NBA is not on? I mean, we're both Cowboys fans here.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna say a bigger NFL fan than NBA. I love both of them though. Like I have
Hmm.
them at the same pedestal. Like one's not higher than the other.
Hmm.
But NFL for sure. First of all, I'm so happy to see fans back. I'm going to a Cowboys game this Sunday. So
Ooh, who are they playing this Sunday?
Panthers at 12 o'clock.
Oh,
Undefeated team against the
yeah,
Cowboys.
that's tough.
It's
We'll
it's
see, we'll see.
exciting. It's
But
exciting.
but but didn't Christian McCaffrey, didn't he get hurt?
Yeah, he unfortunately got hurt.
Yeah,
And I like him too. Like
yeah,
I just it's exciting watching football again.
yeah.
It
I
feel
think it is too.
it feels a lot different than it did last year. Last year at times it felt like it wasn't as exciting because there was no
Mhm,
fans and it felt like the engagement was off. But
mhm,
definitely into football a lot. I don't think there's a certain team that is a runaway favorite after 3 weeks, which makes it exciting.
mhm.
But then again, you got Goat down there in Tampa Bay. You can never count
Mhm.
him out. What about you?
Yeah, I've been enjoying football. I don't keep up with football as much as you do. But I do enjoy, from time to time, and my family, they're huge Cowboys fans,
Yeah,
and
mine too.
yeah, and I think I started out watching the Cowboys before I was even a Mavericks fan. So, uh, so yeah, the Cowboys is my team. They kind of have the division kind of handed to them right now. I think barring any injuries, you know, uh, with this win over the Eagles, it was a smashing over the Eagles too. Uh, but the division should be kind of on a silver platter for them right now. Let's just see if they can handle it and take it home.
It's still
I mean,
really early though.
yeah, it is early, but New York has looked really bad. Washington, probably doesn't have much potential. Uh, the Eagles was the only other team that I was thinking could, really compete for the top spot. But if
The,
if they if they
yeah,
if Dallas continues to win their heads to heads like that, then obviously it shouldn't be a problem. But yeah, with Dallas, you never know. I've
I
been a Dallas
think
fan.
Philly's kind of like in that they're in the finally the mindset of okay, we need a full on rebuild our roster stage because
Mm,
Jalen Hurts obviously still needs to develop, so you're not gonna win with him now. And I think Philly's smarter enough to know like, hey, let's just make sure he gets better, but let's start building our roster for the future. I think New York is already doing that, so they're not
mhm.
going to be competitive. I was kind of afraid of Washington just because their defense is good, but they haven't looked good. um, but it's the NFC East, and there hasn't been a winner. There hasn't been a team that's won 2 straight seasons in like I think over 10, 15 years, something like that. Some crazy
Yeah.
stat. So I didn't really expect them to win because there's not going to be a back-to-back winner in a while.
Mhm.
So it really just left us.
Yeah, yeah. But I feel like we said that, or you could have said that about Dallas, for a couple of seasons, and they didn't win. So, but you never know.
Different
But
mindset out
I
here. It's a
feel,
different
yeah,
mindset now.
yeah, a different mindset. This year, uh, uh, Prescott's been, looking pretty good.
Baller.
I know dude, so good. And then Pollard, he's been a good I mean, Elliott's there, but Pollard's been good as well, so you don't have to rely on Elliott, because Elliott's has had his, injury problems or, just stuff off the field, at times where he can't play. Uh, so it's good to have Pollard there. It's not good that we've had, you know, problems off the field with Dallas's O line. Uh, that's like the one thing that always messes up Dallas. Like they never have a good O line, and when they do, they get hurt. Uh, but like we were talking about earlier, with Zach Martin, out week 1 for COVID, and then the other one, tried to bribe,
Lyle Collins trying to bribe the person.
yeah, bribe the
I think he
NFL
was
to drug
getting. I think he
tester.
was only getting 2 games. He tried to
Yeah,
bribe him and got 5 games.
yeah,
It's
bro,
2 games, bro. Just sit out.
yeah, bro.
So
Well,
anything
yeah, I wonder what he was on. He was probably just smoking weed or something, right?
weed or probably
Yeah,
PEDs.
yeah, or something like that.
What
Uh,
have you been watching anything else?
I've been keeping up with soccer. Champions League, Premier League. Uh, La La Liga is the Spanish league, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. La Liga's been wide open ever since Messi and Ronaldo left. It's kind of between. I mean, obviously, it's between. Actually, no, I'm lying. Actually, Atletico is really good.
Yeah.
They have a good squad, so they're probably going to win La Liga. I mean, normally it's you think of Real Madrid or Barcelona, but Messi's gone to PSG, and I'm sure you've been watching PSG. I've been hearing you've been watching PSG. Is that
I've been
right?
watching Champions League. Okay.
Yeah,
I've been watching
Champions League.
Champions League, man.
Mm,
There was a great game on this past Tuesday. It was Manchester City, who I like because I like Kevin De Bruyne.
mm,
Um, he's probably one of my favorite midfielders. And then obviously against PSG with Messi, Neymar, Mbappe, first game at home for Champions League. It was exciting. Messi's first goal in a new team in over like almost 15 after 15, 7. That's kind of like saying if Kobe left the Lakers after
mm,
2011. After they
mm,
got swept by the Mavericks, if Kobe dipped out,
mm.
they didn't offer him a contract. That's how it felt
Uh,
Messi leaving.
I
He's
got
already
you.
won. He's already won 5 rings. He goes to a different NBA team. He's old, yet he's still one of a top 5 player in the league. That's
Mm-hmm,
how it feels watching Messi play somewhere else,
mm.
especially reunited with Neymar.
Yeah, yeah. It's
You
definitely
got,
cool to see. I
and then
I
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I'm excited to see Ronaldo back on Man
Manny.
U.
Yeah,
And it was funny too because we were seeing when those rumors first came out, the rumors were initially for him going to Man City, and I
yeah,
was like,
yeah.
bro, what? And then next day it's like, oh, it wasn't Man, or talks with Man City or false, or they fell through or whatever. And now it's talks with Man U. Man U's expected to make offer, and then they did, and they got him back. So yeah, and
I would have
then
been so excited if he went to Man City.
that would have been. I mean, I feel like it would have been crazy either way. I guess going to Man City would have been awkward, with his history with Man United. But
But think of the Manchester Derby. Like, think if they were playing and
yeah,
he
yeah,
scores like in the 87th minute and he does his celebration. And obviously, it's Man City's. Even if who
yeah,
doesn't matter if it's a home game or away game, it's in the
yeah,
same city.
yeah, yeah.
So it's like think of all the fans there, and he used to do it for them. Now he's
Hmm.
doing it against them to their
Hmm.
arch nemesis. Like
Yeah,
that would be exciting. But I mean,
yeah.
did you watch the game on Wednesday with him?
When he had that winner against Villarreal, yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. Nah, it's exciting. I want to see Ronaldo win again. It's sad he wasn't able to pull it in Juventus, but or win the Champions League anyway. He won the Italian league like once or twice.
Yeah,
Uh,
He won the Italian. He won that Farmers League.
yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. It's not Farmers
Yeah,
League.
yeah. No, the French league is the Farmers League.
The French league's a Farmers
Yeah,
League, and
yeah,
honestly, even the Germany one and even the Spain one.
yeah.
Obviously, every league has like a top 3 or 4 teams, but
Hmm.
who else do they have?
Yeah, yeah. And then obviously in Germany, you got Bayern, uh, Munich. I mean, they're crazy. I mean, like, all right. Go ahead and humor me. Who do you think is winning Champions League? You think it's gonna be PSG
I
or
think it's for me. I really think it's still too early to tell, just because the one thing with Champions League, especially during the group stages, especially if you have a lot of signings the previous summer, it
mm,
takes a while to get your chemistry up, just because the thing I love about soccer and Europe, and they take it crazy over there. Like how we think
Yeah.
NBA, NFL is here, it's like times 100 over there in those
Yeah.
countries.
Mhm.
Because you got to think, it's like a lot of countries playing in different leagues combined, playing the best team. So it's
Mhm.
crazy. But I think it's just you get so many signings and you have to get chemistry.
Mhm.
And there's times where
Yeah,
some
you need
signings play
chemistry.
this game against their own league in their own league, but then during Champions League, which for our viewers, if you don't know what that is, it's basically like the top 4 teams of every country in Europe go into one tournament during their normal season. So they play their normal games on the weekend and they play the Champions League games on the weekdays, which is phenomenal. I love the idea of that. But there's sometimes where some of your signings play on the weekend, but then some of your signings play on the weekdays, and you don't really create that chemistry. So I think PSG has the biggest potential, obviously, because Mbappe has no connection yet with Messi or Neymar. He has connection with Neymar, but the three
Yeah.
of them together, they don't have any connection yet. And we
Mhm.
haven't even included that Ramos hasn't played a game yet for them. Sergio Ramos from Real Madrid hasn't even played a game for them yet. But I think if you're looking at favorites now, probably Bayern. I would say City, and I'd say Chelsea still has a really good chance. The Chelsea is just consistent. Like
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
I love Conte. I love Conte is a dog. But I mean, obviously you have the flashy teams like Man U. You got what's the other team?
PSG.
PSG. Yeah, you
Uh.
got those 2 teams. But besides those 2 teams, I think it's going to come down to Bayern or Man City. Uh, Depending on how Liverpool plays. Liverpool plays good they
Yeah.
play really good at times, and
Uh.
then they'll play really bad at times.
Mhm. Yeah. It's. I'm sure it depends on the bracket too that some of the teams get. Uh.
Yeah,
So I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah. In the group stage is a little bit tough to tell. Uh. Man U, I've been seeing that they've been struggling even in the Premier League, even after
yeah.
they got Ronaldo. So they kind of have some stuff to work on there. I feel that they do have potential, but I recently saw this video off like Bleacher Report where it was like, you know, they obviously have the talent. You know, they got Pogba, Bruno Fernandez, Ronaldo now, Jesse Lingard, a bunch of guys, super talented.
Sancho.
Yeah, Jadon Sancho, super talented, like I said, but just like their system and their attacking and their midfield is not that great, and it's on the they don't call it coach, they call it well, what do they call it's essentially the coach,
The manager.
yeah, the manager,
That's
uh
weird. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
they probably
uh
think over there us calling it coach here is weird.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, they have stuff to work on there. I don't think Man City is the favorite. I think it's definitely Bayern Munich is definitely the favorite.
Bayern. Bayern.
Yeah,
Bayern is really good,
yeah,
but Man City is also really good. Man City spent a lot of money on that team.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They recently picked up what's his name, Jack Grealish.
Yeah,
Uh, he, I mean I don't. I mean obviously he's good, but like I don't know how good he is. But
he's
like
good. He has big potential.
okay. Yeah, but yeah,
It's
I would, in my opinion, City is not the favorite. It's Bayern. And then I
I
I
think
I still think Chelsea is good, and they definitely got better with signing Lukaku. Um, but
it's all about the after the group stage. How is
yeah,
that bracket gonna
yeah,
look?
yeah, yeah,
Because PSG's made it to I think the finals like a couple
yeah,
seasons back, but
yeah,
their bracket was really easy.
yeah. Oh yeah, they
So I think PSG, Man U, Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, and
Bayern.
Bayern. I think those six. I think I was saying 6 or 7 teams are obviously going to be not the favorites, but they're the ones that everyone looks at. Any of these teams can make it all
Mhm,
the way, and I wouldn't
mhm.
be surprised. The
Atletico could be a sleeper team.
They could be a
Yeah,
sleeper
yeah,
team, and also
yeah.
Real Madrid. Real Madrid could be a
Mm,
sleeper team. Obviously, they're not a sleeper; they're the biggest club in the world, just about.
yeah, yeah.
But the way they play in La Liga, they play good.
Mhm.
But the way they're playing, they played their last game. They lost to a team that's worth like $200 million. This club is worth like
Couple.
something billion.
Yeah.
They
Uh,
lost to a club like so small. Like they don't even have a advertisement on their jersey.
oh dang. I didn't know that. I saw the thing about Barcelona. Like it's the first time they haven't won 5 games in the Champions League. Like they've had like 4 losses and 1 draw. This is the first time they've
Yeah.
lost like
They
5 games,
don't
or
they
they
don't
haven't
have a
won. I
shot on
mean,
goal.
yeah.
Like they don't
Uh,
have a for this season. I think they played 2 games. And for the viewers who don't know, a shot on goal is when you just shoot the soccer ball towards the goal, and the goalie
Yeah.
saves it or it gets deflected,
or
whatever.
like yeah.
They don't even have a shot on goal.
Yeah, and it was against like a small team,
They
a team
played
they should.
Bayern the first game, and I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
they played a small
it,
team
yeah, yeah,
recently. Yeah,
yeah, and they still lost 3-0.
they
Uh,
lost 3-0. Yeah,
yeah. I saw a quote from the other team. They were like, oh, they didn't even feel like it was a challenge. So I was like, oh dang, that's tough.
no Messi, no confidence.
Yeah, or something. I mean, they have young players, but the young players haven't obviously, stepped up to that. So
I mean, it's kind of hard to step up and say, "Hey, we need all you guys to take over for Messi."
yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah. So what about
We'll see
baseball?
though. All right, you lost me at baseball.
I,
You lost me there. You lost me there. You lost me there.
I mean, since
Do you watch baseball?
no, absolutely not.
Okay.
But
I thought you were gonna try to cap.
no, since the Rangers are so close, and like pretty much everybody I know like goes to like Rangers games and stuff. Like
They're so cheap because they suck. I heard.
yeah. No, I was just about to say like I saw a stat, or they're at 100 losses right now, which is crazy. Baseball is so weird. They play so
Yeah.
many games that they
So
can
many
get to
games.
100 wins or 100 losses. Like, bro, that's so weird.
Feels like there's a
Anyways,
Rangers game on every night.
yeah, like every night, every other night, something
Yeah.
like that. But yeah, I saw a stat where the Rangers, this is the first time they've reached 100 losses in like however for a long time or something. But yeah, I mean, I don't know why people are still going to the games. Like we're at 100, or the Rangers at 100 losses. Like they're not good. So
I mean, you
yeah,
go because it's cheap. You go to
yeah,
eat. There's a
and you gotta.
Pluckers in the stadium.
That's true. That's true. I haven't been there, and I'm
You
sure
go and get drunk.
Yeah, go and get drunk.
I haven't been to the new stadium yet.
I haven't either. I want to get a jersey. The baseball jerseys are cool. But
Baseball jerseys are cool, but it's hard to rock them when you're not at a game. Like you don't know what type of scenario you can do to rock a baseball jersey because you're gonna stick out. It's kind of like rocking a football jersey.
yeah, I feel like football jerseys are definitely the hardest to rock. Like I feel like
NBA jerseys.
NBA? Nah,
When are
nah.
you gonna wear that? Like they don't have like when are you gonna wear that type of jersey out in public? With the
No,
football jersey, you can easily put it over a hoodie and just go out.
Oh well, yeah. I guess when you put it like that, that makes sense. But I guess no. I feel like NBA jerseys aren't that hard to rock, and same with baseball. But
So if I'm like, hey, Kyle,
fo-
let's go drinking Deep Ellum right now. Hopefully we don't get shot. If any of you listening live in Dallas, be safe in Deep Ellum.
Yeah.
Be safe.
We'll
No, but
go
if
somewhere else.
I'm like, hey, let's go quote unquote Deep Ellum. You're gonna rock an NBA jersey up there? It's hard to rock an NBA jersey.
Yeah, you can rock. I mean, you just have to accessorize.
Hey, I guess if you put it over a hoodie, it's gonna be just as easy. But
I mean, yeah.
I think an NFL jersey and I think a baseball jersey are a lot easier to rock. I think the easiest jersey to rock is a soccer jersey because it's basically a shirt.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
And they're clean.
Yeah, they are clean.
Some of them are real clean.
I want to get a Tottenham one. I like the.
Yeah, those are clean. Yeah, those are clean.
I sent like their third kit, Tottenham's third kit, to somebody, and they were like, "Oh, like a bowling alley, like the bowling alley like carpet or whatever." I was like, "Oh, damn, it kind of does look like that," but I still think it's clean. But yeah, I think that'll do it for us tonight.
Oh wait,
what?
The list.
Oh yeah, I know. I was gonna mention it right now.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Yeah. don't forget to catch us next episode next week. Richard will be back. Hopefully, me and Robin will be back as well. We're gonna be going over our top 75 list of all time in
You haven't
NBA.
announced it yet. You gotta announce it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
We're going over our top 75
Well,
players
they don't even
all
know where
time
we're going. Okay, there you go.
in NBA history. So obviously, we're gonna be good. It'll be our opinion, and we're not gonna go through the whole list next week because we still have 2 more weeks after this Thursday before the season starts. So building up to the season, we're gonna be going over our top 75 in NBA history. So catch us next week and don't miss out.
Yep.
Uh, make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Make sure you guys stay updated. Like, comment, subscribe on the YouTube videos. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss next week when we go live. It'll be look out next Thursday. We'll be going over that list. Go ahead,
And have your list ready.
Yeah, make up
Have
your own list.
have your 75 to 51 ready. Compare it with
Yeah,
us. Roast ours.
yeah,
Debate us. Whatever you want to do.
yeah, whatever you
It's
want to
probably
do.
gonna be Kyle because Kyle is gonna
Nah,
have D Rose. I can't do
no,
that anymore.
I'm not.
He
I'm not
said he
gonna
wants
have.
to have D Rose in his
I'm
list.
not. I'm not gonna have Derrick
This
Rose
guy.
on my top.
This guy. Right here.
I'm not. I'm not. Get out of here. All right. And then don't forget to follow us on Anchor FM, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Breaker, and Pocket Cast. Leave us a rating. Let us know if you've enjoyed it. Let us know if you didn't like it. But leave us a rating nonetheless. Thank y'all for tuning in and catch y'all next week.
Peace.